1, 2, 3, 4. Satan's at the cheerleader's door. On second thoughts, is that something we should really be cheerful about? Hi guys, welcome to another video. Hope you're all keeping well. Now for this video, I'd like to review a movie that I watched just last night on Blu-ray. The movie's from 1977 and was directed by Graydon Clark, and it stars John Carradine, Yvonne De Carlo and John Ireland. And that movie is called Satan's Cheerleaders. Now, as per usual, before I say anything further about this movie and give you my thoughts on the storyline as a whole, I'll just read you the synopsis on the back of this edition, just in case you're not familiar with it. Right, so this has been remastered from a new 2K scan from the original 35mm negative. It's a 1977 movie. Now, it's been described as funnier than The Omen, scarier than Silent Movie. I'm sure they've got that the wrong way around. Anyway, here's the synopsis. Satanic altar at the high school bodes ill will for the students. Bill, the janitor, decides he's had enough of the cheerleaders teasing. Now, when he brings them to the altar, it's not the chapel of love. So there you go, guys. That's a synopsis for the 1977 American satanic. Well, it's a kind of spoof satanic movie. Satan's Cheerleaders. Yeah. All right then, guys, on to my thoughts now on the movie as a whole. It's not so much a horror as more of a comedy. I don't think I'll be watching it again. It's in parts, guys. I just found it really corny, you know. So basically, you've got this group of cheerleaders and that, you know, absolutely. Well, as usually the case in these American teen movies, you know, involving cheerleaders, are absolutely mad on boys, you know, and doing everything they can basically to attract the boys' attention and that, you know. And like they've got the chaperone, Miss Johnson, you know, she's sort of like trying to keep them in check. But of course, like being teenage girls, they sort of like just go over the head, basically. So basically, what happens is they've got this janitor. They sort of like skiss at him, like take the mickey out of him. He's called Bill, the janitor. Now he decides he's had enough of all this, like you know, being skissed at and that. So he devises this plan. He's in with this satanic cult. You know, he's like a sort of like a scout for them. So what he does, he kidnaps the girls and that, you know, and he sort of like takes them to be sacrificed, you know. This cult led by the sheriff John Ireland and his wife Yvonne De Carlo. They're the leaders of the satanic cult. Yeah, I'll try not to say too much about it, guys, in case you want to see the movie yourself. Yeah, but that's basically the story in a nutshell. The janitor Bill, he kidnaps these girls and that, you know, with a view to sacrificing them on the altar. Yeah, but of course, everything doesn't quite go according to plan, because unbeknownst to Bill and the other two Satanists, there's a certain girl, a blonde girl, amongst these cheerleaders, and she's actually a witch herself, you know, and she's got like shall we say, big plans for this group of Satanists. Yeah, so I'd say that's basically the storyline, you know, in a nutshell. Yeah, but yeah, so 1977, I thought it was actually from a movie from earlier in the 70s, because the picture wasn't very, it was okay, but it wasn't outstanding, you know, especially for the Blu-ray. You know, you actually do get the DVD with this and that, and it's a couple of extra features on the back, like commentary tracks with the director Graydon Clark, and commentary track with genre film director David Dakota, Puppet Master 3, Toulon's Revenge, and film historian and journalist David Delval, and behind the scenes photo gallery, guys. Yeah, that's about all really you get on this edition. Yeah, okay, I'll just say a couple of things about you know, certain things in the movie. Yeah, so when Bill kidnaps them and that, he takes them out. He's sort of like driving along the road and that, and he's got like this sort of like satanic power. He sort of like makes the car, you know, crash on the road and that, and then he gives them a lift and that, you know, he puts them into the back of the van, and then he takes them out. you know, with a view to being sacrificed. Yeah, takes him to this like altar in the woods and that. It's got this like weird satanic face on it and that. And the blonde girl, he takes her down first and that. And the minute the girl stares at the satanic face, she sort of like strips naked of her own volition. Oh, here, missus. Yeah, so shut your eyes if you don't like nudity. Yeah, she strips naked of her own volition. She lies spread-eagled on the altar and that. And Bill sort of like, he starts getting the heebie-jeebies because he senses there's something not quite right here with this girl, this blonde girl called Passy. So he starts getting the wind up and that, you know. So she's got this, like, as I say, she's a witch herself secretly. So she's got this kind of power herself and that. So basically all hell breaks loose, if you'll pardon the pun, when she starts, unleashing her powers on this group of Satanists, yeah. Yeah, so many corny scenes in it, guys. And there's one partial rape scene where the sheriff, played by John Ireland, he sort of like corners the girl's chaperone, Miss Johnson, and he rips open her blouse and that, you know, exposes her bra. But that's all about really, or he sort of like has a bit of a sort of like grapple with her and that. But you don't really see anything really other than that. He just, I say, rips her blouse open like it's just a bra and that. And but it goes off then. You've got John Carradine here. He's part of the group as well. He's playing a kind of a railroad bum. Not a part that was very memorable, you know, such a character, you know, of his stature, all the many great movies he's made. And this is one of his worst ones, guys, this. Yeah, I didn't like the part he played in this and that, you know, very lackluster. Yeah, so as I say, this is more of a kind of a spoof satanic movie. So if you like those sorts of movies, like a kind of Russ Meyer movies and that, you know, you might derive some enjoyment from it. But I wasn't very impressed, guys. I wanted an all-out horror movie, and all I got really was a kind of like spoof on all the satanic movies. And then you get like nods to satanic, satanic movies like The Omen, because the sheriff played by John Ireland, has got these two big vicious dogs who he calls Diablo and Lucifer. Now that's a nod to movies like The Omen, you know, if ever there was one, you know. And another thing as well, the sheriff is called BB Bub, which again is a kind of a nod to the name Beelzebub, the devil, you know, the biblical term. For in the Bible, you know, Satan is referred to sometimes as Beelzebub, so that's another nod, you know, to the kind of movies like The Omen and that. But if you like movies with a lot of like nubile young ladies in, you know, and a lot of leg shows, you might, as I say, you might enjoy this movie. Don't take it too seriously, because you're not going to get a blood and gory devil rides out kind of movie, guys. You're just going to get a fun romp here with occult elements thrown in. You know, I'll try not to give too much away about it and that, because if you want to get it for yourselves and check it out and that. Lovely cover, by the way, but I was disappointed, guys. You know, I wanted the real horror. I wanted the real like devil rides out kind of horror story, and all I got was like a kind of like not really serious fun romp, you know, involving a gang of like nubile young cheerleader girls and that, you know, going after boys and that, you know. And although the nice eye candy, the personalities don't match the looks and that, because nearly everybody they encounter are made these sorts like, you know, skitting at them and that, and hailing abuse at them. So they're not very likable girls, you know, as pretty as they are, you know. But as I say, if you like these kind of movies, loads of beautiful girls and that, you know, and an equally beautiful chaperone in the form of Miss Johnson, you might like it. But yeah, so yeah, I'd say you're not going to get a horror movie, guys. You're just going to get basically like a spoof of all the satanic movies that were around about that time and that, you know, in the 70s and that. For pretty much the third part of the movie, guys, nothing really happens. The movie starts off with all the girls frolicking in typical 70s fashion, frolicking on the beach and that, you know, showing a lot of leg and that, and you know, and boobs and that, and the usual, like, going after lads and that. And I thought to myself, bloody hell, how long is these scenes going to go on? Like, you know, sort of like squealing amongst themselves the way your teenage girls do, and laughing and that, you know, and coming out with lewd things about boys and that, you know, jocks and that. And yeah, you think it was going to be kind of like a Grease movie, a very poor Grease movie, you know. And I thought to myself, when's the action going to start? When is the devil part's going to kick in and that, you know. So that was wasted, you know. Pretty much the third part of the movie, nothing happened, just the girls frolicking, you know, strutting the stuff, you know, as teenage girls did in those sort of like movies of that decade. John Ireland was good as the sheriff and that, and the Gracie Von DiCarlo. But then again, although they were a group of Satanists and that, they didn't really come across as being scary or threatening or frightening. You know, more like very tame devil worshippers. You know, nothing scary about them at all. You know, they were nothing like MacArthur in A Devil Rides Out. you know. Oh, this is Wales Apart, guys, from movies like The Devil Rides Out, you know. It's a kind of a facetious movie with occult elements thrown in. And this janitor Bill, who the girls skiss at, you know, he's a bit of a pervert and that, because what he does when the girls like is showering and dressing and that, you know, stripping off and that, he peeks sneakily and stealthily through the peephole, eyeing them up and that, pretty much like Norman Bates did in Psycho, you know, looking through the keyhole and that, getting an eyeful, you know, where misses, yeah. So the pretty raunchy scene there and that, you know, where the girls are stripping off and that, and, you know, showering and that and getting dressed again, yeah. Movie not to be taken too seriously, you know. Yeah, so just if you just go into it like expecting nothing more than a satanic spoof, you know, you won't be disappointed. Yeah, but I was certainly disappointed because I was expecting a real good black magic movie set in a cheerleader world and that, you know. But all I got was a very very lame, you know, black magic spoof. Yeah. Now the movie did have the potential to be devilishly fun, but all it proved to be, guys, was a very, very, you know, at times quite boring, lackluster movie, you know. But, you know, with a bit of tweaking, the movie could have been much improved. But the emphasis seems to be on showing a lot of the girls, like, you know, the nubile girls and that, you know, showing off the bodies and that, you know, and acting a bit daft and that. You know, and I don't like that in the movie. I've said it before. I don't like movies that get a lot of teenagers and that, you know, acting daft and that, and talking about bloody sex all the time and that, you know. Oh no, yeah, I don't like that. Like, I think it spoils a movie. And some of the things they said as well in the movie were pretty corny and that, you know, pretty corny lines. Or I won't tell you what they are. I'll just let you see for yourself. Like, you probably laugh out loud at some of the corny things that they say. Some of the corny things they say in this movie and that, you know. Yeah, you think it's going to be like it's going to really open out to a real good black magic movie and that, yeah. But yeah, time after time, guys, like with every scene, I thought to myself, oh, why did I waste me money on this and that, you know? But it's one of those things, isn't it, when you're blind buying that? And I like discovering these rare movies. Yeah, I've got another one actually there, another satanic one I'm going to watch tonight. But that does look to be much more serious. I won't say anything more about that. I'll watch it tonight and give you my review tomorrow. Yeah, so that's another satanic movie I picked up the same time as this one. Yeah, but getting back to this, guy, Satan Cheerleaders, I was very disappointed in that, and they could have done a better job with the colour, guys. The transfer, you know, it looked like a very, very poor average TV movie, to be honest. You know, no blood and gore, you know, and you didn't get any weird vibes from it. All you got was these girls and that, you know, they're getting kidnapped and, like, you know, by the janitor Bill, and then, as I say, getting taken out into the woods and that weird altar in the woods with Satan's face on. You know, and the way I didn't like the part there when he takes the janitor takes them out into the woods, and I say the blonde girl's the first to come forward and stare at the satanic face. It's also cut away then, because she strips naked, and cuts away back then when she's got her clothes back on, and she's got this sort of like weird expression on her face. Yeah, oh yeah, very, very bad jump cut there, guys. You know, I thought, what the hell's going on with this movie? You know, so had a lot of faults this movie, guys. Yeah, so as I say, don't take it too seriously. Yeah, so as I say, don't expect anything great from this movie. Just go into it like, you know, with low expectations, and you might get some fun out of it. Yeah. All right then, guys, on to a rating now for 1977 Satan Cheerleaders. I think I'm going to give it just maybe 4, maybe. Yeah, I had a bit of a laugh, like, with the corny lines and that, you know. And also, there's plenty of eye candy on display, but the personalities weren't very likable, you know. Typical characters in those kind of movies. Like, I think this, to be honest, guys, I think this is a movie more for your teenagers and that, you know, especially teenage girls and that, because I say they did feature quite heavily in this movie, this gang of cheerleaders, you know. And as regards old Nick, oh God. Like, look, at times, like, you're wondering, like, is there anything gonna unfold? Is there anything gonna unfold involving, you know, Beelzebub? Yeah, but yeah, as I say, like, if you think movies like, you know, like, sort of like those scary movies and like those spoofs, you might get some idea of the kind of story to expect, you know, when you start watching this. Yeah, so that's all I'm going to give it, guys. Yeah. All right then, guys. I hope you enjoyed my review of the 1977 spoof satanic movie, Satan's Cheerleaders. Have you seen this movie by any chance? What did you think of it? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. I'd be very interested, you know, to hear what you thought of it. Yeah, but as I say, guys, I won't be revisiting this, you know, and it's a shame really, because it's a lovely cover, you know, and there was potential there to be a real good, you know, satanic thriller, but it fell flat at the end of the day, guys. it fell flat on its face. And as I say, like the elements involved in the occultism, the satanic worshippers and that, it could have been done much better, you know. And I thought the sheriff and that, you know, the sheriff and his wife, Yvonne De Carlo, the characters, they could have been more fleshed out, if you know what I mean, yeah. All right then, guys, I'm going to leave it there now. And I hope you enjoyed the review. Usually, if you liked the video, please feel free to share, subscribe, comments, and all going well. I'll be back again very soon with as I say, the other satanic movie I bought. Hopefully it'll be a better review than this, shall we say, pile of tripe. All right then, guys, I won't rant on. I'll leave it there. See yous. Bye for now. What do you think of the movie so far then, Al? Rubbish!